Good afternoon, everyone. This is Austin coming at you. Flashpoint, your turnaround story starts here. We create transformational experiences that lead you to your flashpoint. And I want to revisit a subject that keeps coming up, and it has to do with lack of clarity, lack of purpose, lack of confidence. The feeling of being stuck, the feeling of, is this all there is? Now, before I get in, I want to pose a question to you. Can you meet me in the next 24 hours I got you hanging, right? I'm like, where are we going? Where are we going? Can you meet me in the next 24 hours in Key West, Florida? Can you meet me in the next 24 hours? And I mean, really, can you meet me in Key West, Florida in the next 24 hours? Okay, we'll come back to that question. What I want to talk about today in the next couple minutes is the one thing that may be holding you back and preventing you from truly locking in to clarity, purpose, and your next step. But first, think about that question I just asked. Would you meet me in the next 24 hours in Key West? Okay, back to the story. What came up for me in this long journey of mine, I'm just going to share my story with you briefly. The fact that I had lived with limitations for quite some time. So most of my journey was this progression, regression, and not in the state of growth, in the state of feeling the limitations and feeling that there was something lacking, there was something missing, there was something off, and that progression in my brain would just shut off, and I would just regress. I would self-sabotage. I would be constantly seeking clarity. I would overthink. So what I wrote down is, what is the road to being stuck? What is the road that leads you to be stuck? What is the road that leads a person to be stuck? And I wrote down a couple things just to provide some context. And I really want to give you a perspective, because really, if I'm giving you anything that you're going to walk away with, it's a different perspective that could change right now, that could literally turn things around right now. That's my intention. But what could lead to stuckness is isolation, overthinking. Is this all there is? There's something in me that's not acceptable. There's something in me that's not acceptable to the world, to my family, to my loved one. There's something in me that is not acceptable. There's something in me that's not worthy of said reward, of said purpose, of said vision. There's something in me that's not worthy. And there I go, living life. There's something in me that's not worthy. And what I wrote down is, every one of us, we have what I call the moment of impact. Wham! The moment of impact. High negative impact sparks or fires a connection in the brain and the emotion. That's the way it is. And then you go forward trying to live your life. And here's what happens. We start to get like this progression, but there's this part of ourselves, and this is what I want to bring to you today. The known and unknown it's the unknown limitation that is lurking, and it's a magnet that pulls us back. Or what I wrote down is the unconscious, right? The unconscious, the unknown belief is fixed. It's the wall we keep running into. It's the door with no door handle that's locked. It's the rock that blocks our path. And the thing is, we don't even know what it is. And we just keep running into it again and again and again. And it's through consciousness, the awareness of, that begins the dissipate, the block, or a dissolution of that belief. And what happens is, what I found in myself and others and all the clients that I've worked with, that limiting belief thwarts our creativity. It stops it. And you will never get beyond that unknown limiting belief. It's the big elephant in the room. I don't care how much material you go through. I don't care how many courses you study. If we don't do the inner work and uncover what's there, what's underneath the surface, there's a shut-off point where everything begins to shut off. And we stop and we regress. And we say, I'm stuck. I have no clarity. Because the creativity is shut off. And if you're studying the brain, there's a quote that I heard before, but it's from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it's not just from him, but he says it a lot. It's the brain wires where it's fired. So if you're firing off, you're unconscious, you're not known, that this unknown limiting belief, it's like it's a pathway in the brain. It's fixed. And if we're not aware, it just keeps running the same pattern. This is why people live the same day over and over again. That's why our thoughts, over 90% of our thoughts are the same every day, because the brain is wired. And the quote that I wrote down is that the past is a powerful force that can hold us back, but it is not insurmountable. The past is a powerful. I got a like. Thank you so much. Somebody's listening. If I can reach one person today, one person with this could change your life today. One person, if you're ready. This is work that I've spent over 20 years. You see, the profound lies in the simple things, not the complex things. The past is a powerful force in our lives that can hold us back, but it is not insurmountable. What I want you to understand today is that the limiting belief that you don't know about is holding you back. Jim Rohn says, what you don't know can hurt you. Ignorance is not bliss. What I want to offer you today is the ability to uncover the limiting belief, because you will continue to be held back by that limiting belief. You will continue to progress and regress, feeling stuck. You will continue to be more isolated. You will continue to overthink unless, see, this isn't for everybody, but this was for like my younger self going back, over 20 years ago. This is for you if you really want to uncover, you truly want to break free and uncover that limiting belief. Hello, Renee. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I had opened up with a question. Can you meet me in Key West in 24 hours? Can you meet me? Answer that question, right? Can you meet me in Key West in 24 hours? Can you? I'm going to get back to that. What I want to offer for you is the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs, known or unknown. Because right now, if you're feeling stuck, if you feel like you have no purpose, or you just simply feel like there's more for you, chances are there's a limiting belief that's lurking below the surface that is preventing you. It's stopping you from moving forward. And the only way that's going to change is when you uncover that limiting belief. I had a limiting belief about myself. And we say where you're coming from is more important than where you're going to. And I was coming from a place to prove, because the moment of impact, I had that moment of impact, wham, that negative impact fired something in my nervous system that you're not good enough, that everyone's up here and you are down here, left to figure it out. And that's why I have dedicated myself to this space. And that's why, to me, I'm going to start marketing and talking about the 9 questions more, because to me, the 9 questions, that's the door to uncover what's holding you back. And once you uncover it, your world will start to open up. And I guarantee it. I guarantee if you go through these 9 questions, your world will begin to open up in ways you can't explain. Renee, I see your quote. Okay, so your hubby's in the hospital. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Can we offer up some love and prayers here? I don't know what the situation is, but I pray that he gets out quickly. Speedy recovery. What's going to happen is when you go through the 9 questions and you literally commit and you go through them, you're going to start to uncover things. Some of them may be a little unpleasant, but I assure you, it will create a new revelation. And I want to share this. I'm going to do this in my private community, because sometimes there's trauma. There's things that we call it the inner child. You've heard this, right, in psychology, the inner child. I'm going to be doing a separate video in our private community about that. I'm not going to be sharing that here, but sometimes there's something deeper that's lurking below the surface. But if you get the 9 questions, you're going to get an invite to join our private Facebook group, where I share more content. I go a little bit deeper, and there's more things that we share, and we hear from a lot of our community members there as well. So I want to extend this to you, and I'm going to get back to our question: would you meet me in Key West in 24 hours? I want to get back to this 9 questions, and I want to invite you to get these 9 questions. I pose that what is shut off is your creativity. Your creativity shuts off because this unknown limiting belief is the behind the surface, and it's holding you back. It's blocking you. It makes you feel unstuck. It causes you to overthink. And it just when you start to progress, it pulls you back down. So no, you can't do that. You can't do that because of this. So I propose that the 9 questions will help you identify what that limiting belief is, and to start to spark creativity again. And if you think about creativity, it's new connections in the brain. It's firing new systems in the brain. No, not new systems, but new connections in the brain. And when you start to fire new connections in the brain, it's going to feel awkward. And a lot of times we'll just go back to what we know and we stay where we are. And I've found that no matter what age you're in, right? No matter what age or stage you find yourself, can you meet me in Key West in 24 hours? Now, if I ask that question, some people are going to say, no, I can't. I have such and such. I can't meet you there. I have this and this and this going on. I just can't do it, right? But what if I said, I will give you $1 million if you meet me in Key West. All you need to do is show up, and I'm going to transfer $1 million into your account. Would you meet me in Key West in 24 hours? 24 hours from now in Key West, you meet me, I transfer you $1 million. Would you meet me in Key West? I don't know. I mean, would you meet me in 12 hours? Would you meet me in Key West in 12 hours? I'm going to transfer you $1 million. The reason why I've asked that question, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you, reasons come first. answers come second. If your reasons are strong enough to move forward, to overcome limitations, to overcome being stuck, to overcome lack of clarity, if your reasons are strong enough, you will take action and you will do something about it. So no, I'm not meeting you in Key West, and no, I don't have $1 million to transfer to you. But how valuable is the life that you have left to live? Is it worth more than $1 million? How valuable is it for you to truly uncover your purpose and to live it? How valuable and how important is it? Because to the degree that you dial into that and you say, yes, that's to the degree that you will work to uncover what's going on inside of you. It's to the degree that you will overcome, like that this is not all there is. There's more. And trust can be a factor too. You mean, well, if I guarantee, it's guaranteed. You know, if I'm saying this is in terms of guaranteed, right? You trust me, you know me, and there is $1 million there. So that's the factor that I'm pointing to. But again, what if you didn't know? Would you go? There's another point. Would you take a shot? You see what I mean? That because there's nothing guaranteed, right? We may say it's guaranteed. As I say, I'm guaranteed I'm going to help you. I mean, I do believe that if somebody goes through this course, there will be improved for the better. There's no question in my mind. Now, not everybody's going to be ready for it. Not everybody's going to want it. And that's okay too, because I don't work hard anymore. I work passionately, and I will continue to do so because this is the journey that I went down for myself to truly, like, it's just feeling those moments of struggle and anguish and suffering and just never feeling worthy, never feeling like you nailed it. And even when you had some level of success or achievement, it was short-lived because there was that voice, that inner part of you that I was talking about that just lay beneath the surface. So that's why I say I took the long road, but I still will end up on time, because everything I'm sharing with you is the long road. It's the information that took decades to uncover. You know, some people come off like they've done it in, you know, a shorter time, but that's how deeply rooted this was in me. And that's why, you know, it's important to take advantage of things like this, because your life and your purpose and your relationships is the most important thing. It's more valuable than $1 million. And your progression in life, your feeling of progress is so important. And if you don't feel progress, you are not going to have, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel upset. What can create progress? These 9 questions are one example of something that can create progress. So I want to offer them to you. Take advantage of them. And what lay on the other side of that? You go through the 9 questions. Maybe you do take a vacation in Keys, or you go down south, but you start to uncover what's held you back. And what I say is, once you move, whatever's in the darkness, once it moves into the light, it loses its power over you. It's the rock that turns to dust and vanishes, and the path becomes clear. Your intentions become pure, connected to your heart, and you can move forward from that place. But it's only going to happen when we do the inner work, when we truly go in and figure out what is holding me back, what is preventing me from showing up and being my best self in this world. What is it? And so that's what we're offering here. So I want you to take advantage of it. I just put the link in there. And you can get the PDF of the 9 questions, the download. That's complimentary. If you want to take it further and you want to go into the live immersion, just message me on that, because there's a cost on that. But if you're listening to this video, I'm going to gift that to you. How's that? I will gift it to you, and I will enter you in so you can go through the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. It's an 11-day commitment. It's 10 minutes a day. And every day you'll go through the 10 minutes over 11 days. Each question was recorded in an inspirational place leading up to the Grand Canyon. Because what I wanted to offer you is not just content, I wanted to give you an experience. And the feedback that we received from it was people they had an incredible experience going through this. Some people uncovered limiting beliefs that they had for over a decade or more, and it's opened them up, and they are progressing like never before because of going through these 9 questions. So what I want to just sum up here is to say, and I know I went a little longer, but I want to reach one person that's going to grab a hold of this and realize that there's a limiting belief that's below the surface. There's a limiting beliefs that's telling you this is all there is, that may causing your emotions to dip, that may cause self-sabotage, that may be preventing you from feeling the fullness of life and what you truly deserve in this life. There's a limiting belief, and no matter what you do, you run up against it, and it's like you can't seem to shake it. That's what these 9 questions are for. And once you start to uncover what that limiting belief is, your creativity is going to be activated. Your brain can start to fire new connections. You're going to embrace the uncertainty of going through this process with fervor, and excitement. Once the excitement fires, and once I went through this process for myself, I started to fire new visions. I had new visions in my life. I'm going to share a video with you later where I literally had a dream I was going to meet Les Brown when I started this journey. Les Brown, you got to be hungry. Les Brown. I had a dream that I was going to meet Les Brown, and 2 days later, I met him. And I'm going to share that video with you later, because that's the thing. What happens when you start to fire, when the brain starts to activate and the heart starts to feel and the emotions start to rise and the excitement in you starts to well up, great things are coming. But that limiting belief, if it's not handled, it's going to pull you down. It's going to pull you back, and it's going to prevent you from crossing over, from breaking through that threshold, because that limiting belief is lurking beneath the surface. And the 9 questions will help you get to the root and rip it out at the root, so you can start to fire these new visions. Like, this is what happened to me. New visions started to be created in me. And not only did they start to fire, I started to believe that they could manifest and come to fruition. And a whole new world has opened up for me as a result of doing this. But who cares if it happened for me? If it doesn't happen for you, who cares? This is something for you that I created based on my journey to understand what I realized. It doesn't matter unless you uncover the limiting belief, things will stay the same. And I don't want that for you. There's more for you. You understand me? Somebody needs to hear this. There's more for you. Say this. There's more for me. Say that. There's more for me. There's more work to do for me. There's more love for me to cultivate. There's more purpose. Brian Tracy says some of the best moments of your life haven't happened yet. And your vision is the trailer for life's coming attractions in your life. And it's only going to be activated through your creativity to create options, to activate the creativity of your youth, to fire that creativity in you today. The sad truth is most people are going to go through today, tomorrow, the next day, the next 5 years, the next 10 years with the same thing. And it doesn't have to be that way. It does not. It can change today. We can overcome limiting beliefs. Once we start to fire creativity, we start to elevate our emotions, more clarity will come through. And what also will be uncovered and revealed is your purpose. Every single person has a purpose to fulfill. How do I know? You wouldn't be here if you didn't. Everything in this universe has a plan and a purpose. Everything, everyone under the sun and beyond has a plan and a purpose. That is why you're here. There's more for you. Take advantage of this opportunity. It will change your life. It will change your life for the better. I guarantee it. Click on the 9 questions and take advantage of it now. And if it's not for you, who is it for? Who would need to go through these 9 questions? Not only who would need it, who wants it? See, because there's a lot of people who need, but there's not a lot of people, or there's not a lot of people who are willing to step up and take action. Right? So this is Austin. This is Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. We create transformational experiences that lead you to your flashpoint, and it starts with the 9 questions. Renee, thank you for being here today. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.